Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be looking into what are their potential actions towards you and when. There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Dalmation Jasper, along with this card. Group 2 is the purple Fluorite, along with this card. And group 3 is the Apatite, along with this card. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. I chose the Dalmation Jasper, along with this card, which will be some guidance from Spirit. So we'll take a look at that at the end. Let's see, I'm going to start with some tarot to get a feel of what this person's next actions are towards you. What kind of a move, if any, will they be making? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The Hermit, which is Virgo. Ten of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The Tower, which is Aries. Five of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And Eight of Wands, so more fire energy. And when I drew the Hermit card, I heard they're getting ready to come out of hiding. So this could be somebody that you have been in a no contact situation with for a period of time. Or this could be a new connection, someone you are newly dealing with and that has been hiding their feelings, kind of holding back from that expression. But as we see here with the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands, they are getting ready to express something to you, to reveal a deeper layer of feelings that they have for you or feelings that they are still harboring within them. The Tower indicates that this might come in very suddenly. What they say to you could be very shocking. It feels like a very shocking, but in a pleasant way. It's like a welcome surprise, but it might be very overwhelming. It might kind of catch you off guard. Something that you were maybe hoping for, that you were expecting, but you had sort of moved into a place of acceptance with this Ten of Swords, you know, just really trying to be open, trying to be receptive to divine timing, trying to allow things to unfold very organically, or to allow this person the time and space that they need to really process things and kind of come back towards you, or even open up more towards you of their own volition. And it feels like the pace at which which they come forward. It has a lot of velocity to it. There's a depth of what is revealed, or again, the manner of this, or kind of the very unexpected nature of this revelation to you. It's very shocking, but in a pleasant way. It may be something where they are expressing even a level of depth of how they are feeling, a longevity of feeling, or even, whatever is said that kind of opens the door to taking things to the next level, to exploring other layers of the connection between you, recommitting to one another, or even committing to one another in a more substantial way for the first time. That this pivots things forward between the two of you in a way that nothing will ever be the same. This is almost the idea of a door that's opened, and once that happens, it cannot be closed again. It's a paradigm shift. It's something which rocks the foundation of the dynamic as it has existed up to this point in time between the two of you, kind of clearing the way for the new to develop. Five of Wands can really speak about a little bit of fear that is going on with them right now. They're kind of having to fight this fear and sort of rush towards you. So it almost brings forth this energy of somebody who the words almost just tumble out of them. They're very nervous when they say this, kind of a fear of rejection, a fear of exposing themselves fully, but they take that leap of faith nonetheless. It's something where, depending on your circumstances, there could even be a guardedness around you due to kind of being hurt from love in the past, or if this is somebody from your past that you've been dealing with, there's going to have to be effort that is demonstrated on their part that they are aware of to kind of work beyond those boundaries of what has occurred between you previously, or again, kind of walls you have put up around your heart due to heartbreak in the past. But there is a willingness here that is expressed to fight for this connection, to fight through this, fight through the fears on both sides, to take a leap of faith, a chance into the unknown. To elevate the situation, step into the next layer or level of what is possible between the two of you, armed with the wisdom of what you've been through together in terms of your history with one another, even what has built in momentum up to this point between you, if this is somebody new in your life or somebody from your past, kind of taking that into account, the difficulties and the lessons that were learned, the things that went wrong in the past. And this is communication of acknowledging those things and almost vowing to do better, to do something different, wanting to course correct or co-create with you in a way that acknowledges one another's fears, one another's hesitations, again, what went wrong in the connection or even in your romantic histories previously, so that whatever unfolds or is kind of stepped into this next layer chapter between the two of you can be built in a different direction, using that wisdom from the past to do better going forward. So I'm going to get a few oracle cards to get some clarification about this for you. Okay, and we have elves, playfulness, and thinker. So this can really be a confirmation, again, of this kind of pleasant surprise with the playfulness and the elves. And the idea of thinker as well is something that you have been kind of sensing has been building in momentum. It has been this sense of anticipation, almost as if you could read that there's something more on this person's mind than they have directly spoken. If this is somebody you're in contact with, or even somebody from your past, just this energetic bond between the two of you. You may have been thinking a lot about them. This ties into this element also with the hermit, that the time apart, or even just the stage up to this point that the situation has been in. There's been a lot that they have thought about. What they come forward with is something that is well thought out, although they are fighting fears. This is not an energy of impulsivity. They've given this a lot of thought. They have weighed the options. They have really strategized and planned for kind of that right moment, that right nudge. They may be getting a lot of signs that are pointing them in this direction to act, that the time is now to put themselves out there or take a risk in your direction. And it might be something where, again, kind of that nervousness, that awkwardness, the words just kind of spilling out of them, that it's something to where, with this playfulness, the intentions are really naturally good. They are very well-meaning with whatever it is that they bring towards you or return with. And it's this desire to, move out of this heaviness of unspoken words and step into this energy of joy, of what is possible between the two of you. They may also convey to you that they really enjoy your company. They enjoy spending time with you. You are a source of joy. You are a source of light in their life. The butterfly here on this card really speaks to transformation. So this may be among kind of the words that are spoken, how you have changed their life for the better, and that they are ready to evolve this situation in some way out of whatever the current dynamic is between the two of you. There's an interest in, again, kind of the idea of a butterfly emerging from its cocoon and what came through with the Hermit, sort of coming out of hiding. This person is ready to take a leap of faith to sort of bring this situation up to the next level, even if that's just opening up a dialogue between the two of you to openly kind of discuss feelings, discuss fears, hopes, intentions, what you've been through in the past, where you are at now, and what you require or are looking for moving forward. So it's a very positive energy of, lines of communication being opened. Again, kind of this salmon leaping up here. This speaks to wisdom. So this is something, again, with the thinker and the hermit, this is well thought out. This is not just impulsive. This person has been planning this for some time. It feels like something that has been building in momentum, but like with the tower, and again, this salmon just kind of leaping up out of the water, it comes very unexpectedly. And the energy here, it feels very imminent. So this feels to be very kind of near future, very immediate kind of communication. That 10 of Swords, that's an end of a cycle. So this is something where, again, they've been thinking about it for a while. So this doesn't feel something to be distant in the horizon. They're kind of just wrapping up that stage of really planning, really putting to form what it is that they want to convey, and kind of right at that brink of emerging, of moving towards you, of coming out of hiding, of expressing something. These words that are almost right on the tip of their tongue, and that they've been getting these urges and these nudges to express. And it feels very much, I'm hearing the time is now. So again, this could be very kind of current energy for you in the very near future. This is very imminent, but it will come in very unexpectedly, very surprisingly. And it almost feels like in just a very kind of mundane moment. If this is somebody you're kind of in connection with now, you're talking with now, and this involves kind of taking things to the next level, this may really occur during a point when there's just like a playful banter between the two of you, where you're not talking necessarily about very heavy and serious topics. You're just enjoying one another's company. And then it's almost like that first kind of slip of the tongue, that first I love you comes out, or that, those expressions about that they, you are a light in their life, you have transformed their life, they want to see where this goes, something that really depicts kind of this interest in sort of the forward momentum, and it really gets the ball rolling as far as that conversation. It's not just something which slips out and then this person kind of retreats back into embarrassment. It's something that it's almost like a sigh of relief once that first kind of threshold is crossed, that, it opens up those lines of communication for the two of you to really sort of continue that. Again, very unexpected, but a very pleasant surprise, either hearing from this person again, if it's someone from your past, or if this is someone new, someone you're currently dealing with. It feels like a very pleasant surprise that they are taking action and that they are ready to evolve things to the next level, which again, with thinker, it really feels like you've anticipated this. There has been a sense of knowing about you, the sense of momentum having been built, and maybe just out of respect for them, or the two of you just kind of mutually having these sort of feelings growing within one another. It's very surprising that they take the lead in this circumstance. It's a very pleasant experience that they take the initiative here and really open up what is possible between the two of you, so that you can start exploring and growing into that area of the relationship with one another. So I'm going to get a few messages from their higher self and see what does this person want to tell you right now. Okay, and they say, I am more affected than you know. So that really confirms that idea of you have changed their life for the better. This is a desire to grow, a desire to expand with you. If this is somebody from your past, a no contact situation, the experience with you, this time apart has affected them very deeply. They have gone through a process of growth and maturity, and there's an interest in not kind of leaving things unfinished with you, a desire to move forward and evolve and grow. They also say the grass wasn't greener on the other side. So again, somebody from your past returning who has needed that time apart to explore, to be the distance from you. And all of that searching, all of that exploration and wandering, it has brought them back to that core truth and reality, that you are a source of joy, you are a source of light for them. This is an energy of kind of homecoming, of wanting to come back and wanting to explore and wanting to see, what else is possible. If this is also somebody that is new, this idea of the grass wasn't greener on the other side, it really ties into this unique aspect of what they share with you, what they experience with you, that the feelings that they have and the sense that is kind of awakened within them, how you have affected them, it is different than what they have experienced in connections, in romances, or even if this is a friend who is opening up the door to something else. There's just something that you have stirred within them that really is, it has caught their attention. It is different than what they expected out of this situation, kind of parameters or boundaries or kind of a title or an idea that they had around it. It's almost like these feelings have sprouted up overnight and very unexpectedly. And the way that you make them feel, there's something about it that is worth exploring, that is worth moving towards, that they almost feel that they can't continue to hold on to this questioning and this what if. And it's this energy of having this courage to kind of step out into the unknown, into this unknown territory between the two of you, to explore what is possible. And they also say, I can't handle your words right now. So maybe a little bit of fear of rejection that could be kind of adding into that nervousness and the idea of these words kind of tumbling out. It feels that this person is going to do a lot of the talking, that they have some things that they need to say, they need to convey that, they need to express that. And as much as, they're very much, these things are right on the tip of their tongue, there is almost this sense of, do you feel the same way? Is this something that can be, built upon if this is a new situation or if it's somebody from the past? It's something where, again, they've been thinking about this for a while, but may have been holding back for some time, reaching out and coming forward because there is that prospect, that worst case scenario of rejection, of you having moved on, or, just kind of greeting them with some pessimism or negativity, that the way that they feel, what they want to bring forward, there's a desire to have, that be in kind of a pleasant vein. And so that possibility of being rejected or, the conversation not going well or them really exposing themselves, putting themselves out there, only to be shut down. It's something that is making them a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit of overthinking, over-planning, but nevertheless, there is this forward momentum of action being taken in some form in the near future. So I'm going to take a look now at this card. This is the guidance from Spirit about the situation. And we've got freedom. So this is really, advising you again that it will be very liberating to have these kind of undercurrents of feelings brought out into the open. This is encouraging you as well to release expectations as far as timing, as far as how these things will unfold. Again, there's an energy of surprise, like a pleasant surprise. So if you've been able to kind of sense something, sense the buildup, sense the anticipation, this is also guidance to kind of move into that space of receptivity and expectation. Rather than thinking about this circumstance as, kind of like with this person, what could go wrong? Moving into the space of what could go right? What could be, kind of reconstructed out of this situation? If it's a new person, how could this be different than what the two of you have experienced in terms of disappointments in love in the past? This talks also as well with this freedom and this crow with its wings spread, kind of rising up. Again, guidance that whatever these circumstances are, new person or person from the past, that this situation is getting ready to go up to the next level, take things to the next level. This crow's even holding a bouquet of roses. So for some of you, this could be somebody that turns up, you know, with flowers at your door and an apology. For others, it's just really talking about, you know, this sort of sweetness. A new chapter is getting ready to open, or at least has the potential to be explored between you and this individual. You know, so freeing yourself from a lot of those fears, using with the Hermit kind of the discernment and wisdom of what you've experienced with this person up to this point or in the past, as well as kind of what you've been through independent of this situation in your love life, and utilizing that to communicate, you know, create reasonable boundaries, but yet be open to kind of stepping beyond one's comfort zone, being open to kind of the restructure and the reorganization of the relationship between the two of you as it kind of moves into this place of evolution. This can be an act of co-creation with one another, and it definitely feels like something that is, this person is the one that initiates it. They spark it. They get that ball rolling, and it's up to you, you know, to really open up to that, to what can be created out of this, what can grow out of this, that there's a lot of potential here. Even if this is somebody from the past that just brings something forward and it's a point of closure, there can be a lot of freedom in that. It can work wonders to kind of putting an end, a conclusion to this chapter, or, you know, a segment of the story with them, so that you are free to kind of move forward with your heart more open in other directions. You know, if this is a new person, somebody you don't have a romantic history with, there's an ability here to kind of free yourself from the narratives of what you've experienced in love in the past. You know, that this situation, the energies that flow between the two of you, and kind of the place that each of you are in your life, there is a lot of potential here to experience something very different from what you've known in love previously. Also, with somebody from the past, there is this possibility to kind of free the two of you from this stagnant energy, the stuck energy, to come back together wiser, different, more compassionate for self, more loving towards self, and that this might be the time where, you know, if circumstances weren't aligned in the past, if it was like right person, wrong time, this definitely speaks to, you know, things really coming into alignment internally within you that is now setting the stage for the two of you to, you know, experience a different form of connection with one another than was possible before. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got M, D, U, L, E, B, P, Q, and N. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. I chose the purple fluorite along with this card, which will be some guidance from Spirit, so we'll take a look at that at the end. I'm going to start with some tarot and see what is this person's next action towards you. Will they make a move, and when? What's that going to look like? We have the Lovers, which is Gemini. Ten of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Ten of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. King of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Ace of Swords, so more air energy. And Knight of Swords, more air energy. So the Ten of Swords did come up in Group 1, so if you felt drawn to watch that group, you may want to do that after these messages. There could be kind of additional things for you in that group. But with all of this swords energy here, this is definitely speaking about communication. Ace of Swords is a card of truth, a card of clarity. And with the Knight of Swords, this feels to be very fast moving energy. It's coming in very quickly. Something that is going to cut through. It feels a lot of mystery, a lot of indecision. Somebody that could have been kind of wishy-washy in the past, a little bit hesitant, kind of right on the precipice of action, takes that action, makes themselves known. The Lovers can be, even with the Ace of Swords, that declaration of I love you, or if it's someone from your past, I still love you. I still feel so much for you. With the King of Wands, these feelings have only grown with time, or again, if it's somebody new that you're dealing with, same idea. These feelings have only grown with time. Ten of Pentacles is talking about, this wish fulfillment, this desire to build, to work towards a long-term future with one another. So just depending on the nature of your circumstance, again, if this is somebody from your past, they can be reaching out, can be returning, can let you know that the time spent away from you, this period of separation has been of great value to them. If this is someone who was non-committal in the past, this feels like the energy of somebody who is ready to commit, ready to start again, ready to move forward, to build toward a mutual horizon, to work in partnership with you. Towards that, even with the rainbow here on this Lovers card, this is really giving me 10 of Cups vibes. So even water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio might be significant, but this can really talk about some kind of a declaration to you that you are wish fulfillment for them. In so many ways, you check off all of these different boxes, and it's bringing to mind with the Ten of Swords these words of, I don't know what I was thinking when I walked away or when I let you go. So that can be kind of in the nature of what is conveyed, something that is very much straight, very much to the point, very direct, that doesn't leave a lot of room for interpretation. It really just cuts through, again, that energy of indecision and creates this very clear path forward of this person's desire to reinvest, to build, to evolve this connection in some way toward a kind of a forever future, something long-term, something stable in the material world. Somebody with the King of Wands that is very much magnetized back to you. This is an energy of certainty. They know what they want, and that is you, and they are expressing this. If this is somebody new that you are dealing with, depending on kind of the stage of the relationship that you are at with them, this might be that first I love you. This might be, expressing that they want to be more than friends. They want to take this to the next level in some way. They feel a very strong connection with you and determined that this is worth exploring. Again, that energy of certainty. They may have had a lot of options in the past or had kind of kept those options open. Things might have been very casual between the two of you, just depending on kind of where you are at in that dynamic with one another. But this energy of certainty that, this connection, the potential that exists between the two of you, it is real and worth exploring. You bring them a sense of deep satisfaction and joy when they are with you. They see you as somebody that they could have a very firm foundation with. You share a lot of the same goals, a lot of the same values. Again, any kind of indecision, any kind of skepticism, needing to take time to, even just allow the situation to build, to get to know one another. It has reached this point of conclusion, and this is really kind of moving things to the next level. So this can even be somebody who, is asking you out on a date for the first time. Again, opening that door to romance, to the possibility of what can be explored. So a friend who expresses deeper feelings for you, or somebody that you've had your eye on, somebody, like a crush, somebody that's just been kind of flirting with you, or even at a distance, kind of makes that move forward, initiates that communication of let's explore kind of the different layers of what is possible here. That they see something, a lot of kind of solid potential, the potential to really have something very fulfilling. This doesn't feel like the energy of somebody who just wants to come in and kind of, have sort of a casual and quick and sort of good time with things. This is definitely somebody who has given a lot of thought. They may be very kind of serious at this point in their life, mature at this point in their life, or the time and distance between you has matured them in some way. They've come into this place of certainty that they want to explore in a very serious capacity, sort of what can develop. This can also talk about, somebody that has, you've just started dating, somebody who's been kind of used to casual dating, wanting to enter into something very monogamous with you, very exclusive with you, and kind of peel back the layers of what does that look like. So again, communication coming in very quickly, very imminently for you, and it's something that feels to be very direct, very to the point. They really cut to the chase. If this is somebody who needed some time to think about things, who was kind of holding back, just observing, this is that action step forward. This is, in a very confident energy and with a very appealing offer. It feels what they have to say. It is very much in alignment, in tandem with what feels good to you. It feels like something you're very receptive to, even if it's somebody returning from the past, and this might even just open the door to like closure if it's not somebody you at this point in time would be entertaining kind of reconciliation with. The nature of what they say, the energy that they come forward with, this direct energy, this honesty, not kind of mincing words, but really getting to the point. Whatever that is, it provides you with some kind of vindication, some kind of stability, some kind of certainty about what has been going on, what's going on internally. This is someone who's very clear, very direct about their thoughts and about their feelings. About sort of you, what has happened in the past, what has been going on in kind of a no contact situation, and sort of what they would like to experience in the future, even if that's just kind of that energy of completion and closure, that it feels like something that is very effectively done. So overall, this feels to be a very positive communication that's coming in, that really, it reveals a lot about some kind of hidden thoughts, some things that, have been kind of on their mind. And this is an energy of somebody who may have been in pause, who is now creating momentum forward. So I'm going to get a few oracle cards to get a little bit of clarity about this. Okay, so we have Foggy Bog, Patience, and No Place Like Home. So again, if this is somebody from your past that you were dealing with, like a no contact situation, or even just somebody you were, from your past, somebody you had a romantic connection with, life took you in different directions. Perhaps a lot of time has gone by. This patience, this idea of foggy bog is really giving me vibes of the Temperance card. So Sagittarius might be very significant, or this can even, it's a timeless reading. So whenever you see these messages and they resonate with you, just again, take them as they resonate. But at the time that I'm recording this, we're kind of right at the end of Sagittarius season. So this is very much real-time energy. Again, that fast-moving communication, or even just kind of this Sagittarius season, kind of the holiday season, the wrapping up of the year, and kind of the opening up of the new year that is to come in a few weeks. This can be a very significant point in time that kind of wraps up this cycle of sort of decision and contemplation. In some way, a determination is made to kind of open up a new chapter, begin the new year fresh. maybe, create that reconciliation with you, come out from whatever this sort of no contact circumstance is, or if it's somebody new that you are kind of dealing with, it's almost like wanting to start the new year with you by their side, wanting to kind of explore the new layers of what is possible between the two of you, kind of wrapping up this energy of whatever the circumstance has been, whatever that dynamic has been between the two of you, and entering into the realm of something different. Again, this idea of patience can relate to sort of a communication that has been a long time coming, or this can be somebody that you've been friends with for a while. They've been in your awareness for a while. This doesn't necessarily feel to be somebody who is just kind of secret admirer energy, although that can be there, where they've been watching from afar for some time, just kind of on the peripheral of your life, of your existence, maybe not even known to you at all, and kind of coming forth with this introductory energy of the Ace of Swords for the first time, wanting to kind of introduce themselves, open up that possibility of like, hey, let's explore this. Let's see what can develop out of this. So just take it as it resonates for your situation. But either way, kind of the energy, the directness, the honesty with which this person presents, it feels like something you've been waiting for in general, either from them personally or in a larger kind of broader scheme of things. It's the type of interaction and exchange between two people that you've been hoping to experience in romance. There's an energy almost of something that's very sweet and endearing about what it is that they say, but it's also very direct. It leaves nothing to the imagination. This idea of fog, any kind of lack of clarity you had before, indecision that they had been in, if it's someone from the past, all of that is cleared. And it's something that makes you feel very warm, makes you feel very comfortable with the idea of no place like home. That what this person says, no matter if it's someone from the past, somebody new, somebody you've been dealing with for a period of time, it's a sense of making you feel very safe, very reassured by what it is that they say. This is not something that is completely kind of outside of your comfort zone or kind of raises your defenses. It feels very natural, very instinctual. You will want to lean into this energy, which can be that kind of sign for you intuitively that this is, this is a new direction to move in, that this is kind of a new door, a new horizon, which is presenting itself. And it feels to lead to kind of this greater exploration and contemplation and experience of whatever is opened here between the two of you. No place like home can also talk again about somebody from your past kind of coming back. If they had been in some sort of indecision, maybe had pulled away energetically, or literally kind of just needing time to think, needing time to sort things out, they've come to that place of certainty, and there's this desire to come home, to try again, to start over, to work more consistently toward a solid foundation with one another, toward some shared and mutual dreams, toward kind of cementing in all this potential into something lasting. So a very beautiful energy here of, again, something that feels very, very balanced, very peaceful, very comfortable, something and someone you may have been waiting for quite some time. And it's a feeling of home. It's a feeling of assurance that this feels right. This feels like the right time in this circumstance, or the right time in your life to experience these energies. It feels like something where whatever is conveyed, there's a lot of incentive to kind of accept that offer, to move forward, to keep these lines of communication open. If it's someone who asked you out on a date, you're very excited about that. It's something where you're going and doing that, you're experiencing that, you're exchanging with one another in that sense. This can be somebody who's asking you to move in with them, to live with them, to enter into a monogamous partnership with one another. Or even somebody who, again, is kind of returning, saying, can I come home? I'm ready to come out from the cold. I'm ready to start over. I know where my heart is. I know where home is, and that is with you. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self and see what do they want to tell you right now. Okay, and they say, I know I screwed things up, and honestly, I have no idea how to fix it. So this can definitely tie into that energy of someone from the past coming forth with an apology, with the Ace of Swords, being very direct, having no choice but to just say everything, that's on their mind, even opening up with, that same kind of a statement that they're sorry, they want to fix this, they don't know where to start, but their arms are open, their mind is open, their heart is open, they are ready, willing, and able to at least give this a try. This can also talk about somebody who, if you've been dealing with this person up to this point in time, maybe somebody who's not necessarily new, or somebody who's, just a friend, something like that. You may have sensed something energetically where this person has kind of pulled back, they've retracted a little bit with that Ten of Swords. That can talk about kind of being in their head about things, and it really feels to be almost this buildup to that declaration, to that kind of fast-moving energy of making something known, that first I love you, that expression of having deeper feelings for you, wanting to take things to the next level. But they've kind of pulled back within themselves. They may be a very logical person, or they just kind of need to think this out. Are they ready for this? What is it going to take to kind of keep that momentum building in a very positive direction for the two of you? Other considerations that they may have needed to make, other choices that they may have needed to take, that it feels so right, they feel so drawn to you, but are they ready for this? Are they ready to open this box, have this conversation? And so it's something where, if that's the case, they're very aware of how that may be perceived by you, this kind of energetic withdrawal by them. So it's this idea of needing to, knowing that kind of this silence or this shift within them, that it has been noted, it is noticeable by you, or they're just anticipating that you've sensed something is a little off with them, and that it's kind of this unintended consequence of them getting ready to take this leap forward in this situation. And it's something that kind of leaving you with that uncertainty, that indecision, or, kind of that questioning. It's not something that they feel comfortable with. It's not something that they feel good about. And it really ties into this energy of like the full declaration, saying everything that's on their mind, including, kind of addressing that elephant in the room. They know they've been withdrawn. They know they have pulled their energy back. They've been thinking about this and whatever the rest of that conversation is. They also say, my mind and heart always comes back to you. So that is that energy of no place like home. If this is someone from the past, you have been on their mind, you remain in their heart through kind of their wanderings, through their journeys. The time apart has given them a lot to think about. And those thoughts have really led back to the certainty that they hold a lot of love for you, and that this connection is worth, exploring. It is worth pursuing, that there's a curiosity about what more can we experience with one another. There's a sense of longing that they have had for you while you two have been at a distance, and this desire to kind of step out of that energy of longing into putting into action a plan in order to kind of shift the trajectory of where you are headed up to this point. If this is somebody new you are dealing with, you again are on their mind constantly. These feelings that they have for you with the King of Wands continue to grow. The intensity has only just magnified for them. And it's something where it feels like they don't want to continue to allow more time to pass without expressing this, that these feelings are real and worth exploring. And that it's something where, again, they've thought a lot about this. They've really taken the time to decipher and to become very certain. So when they come forward to you, it is in this air of confidence. They've really picked apart these feelings. They know how they feel, and that they know that this is what is kind of compelling them in your direction, magnetizing them towards you and toward revealing this deeper layer of feelings. That it is not something that is coming impulsively. It is something which, it's been on their mind for a while. And when they kind of take that step, it is from this place of readiness to actively in real time kind of build from that point. They also say, I'm not the same person that you remember. So if this is someone from your past, they have undergone some kind of an evolution, some kind of introspective period, some kind of personal growth that has taken place. If they were indecisive before, or just kind of non-committal before, there's been a shift in that. They've really grown out of a phase of themselves. They're ready for commitment. They're ready for a change. And hopefully you will sort of allow them the opportunity to, really express that, to really demonstrate demonstrate that, even in the words that they use and kind of the clarity and honesty that they present to you. They're hoping that that will be enough to really make you believe that change is possible and that it has genuinely occurred within them, that whatever you were dealing with in the past, the two of you can move beyond that. This is an interest of repairing things, of doing better than what had been done between you previously. If this is somebody new that you're dealing with, this can really tie into kind of this urge that they have to sort of prove to you that they are not like your exes. They are not like the people you were dealing with before. If you had dealt with people who were non-committal, in and out, wishy-washy, deceptive, or very kind of unclear about their feelings, or, just very kind of giving the wrong impression and just sort of, withdrawing from that, there is this urge in this person to prove to you, to demonstrate to you through consistency, through the energy in which they show up in, the words and the honesty with which they are able to express their feelings, that they are different than what you have dealt with before. And that difference hopefully will then kind of open your mind to exploring sort of the next layers, the next level of what is possible between the two of you. So I'm going to take a look at this card now. This is your guidance from Spirit about this situation. And we've got illusion. So this is really tying into, this idea of mirroring, that if you're a little bit kind of, you're feeling this anticipation, if this is somebody kind of new that you're dealing with, and you feel these feelings that are really growing within you, there's a desire, there's an urge for more, to explore more. This can be that confirmation that is very mutual, that is very reciprocal. You are not the only one who feels this way. And this idea of illusion really ties in with the Ace of Swords, that clarity is coming. Again, if this person has kind of pulled back energetically from you, and you're kind of wondering, is it something that you did? Is it, have things kind of cooled off? Is this sort of, the end of this situation? That's an illusion. This is almost this preparation time before that next leap forward, before that, these words that are spoken with this crow with its open mouth, and talking with this reflection here. It's really talking about, honesty and clarity, discussing these things, discussing the fears, the hesitations, the hopes, the dreams, and the thoughts, being very open about that, and that this is the firm foundation upon which the two of you can really build something very productive and very mutually fulfilling for one another. If this is somebody from your past returning, this is cautioning you not to just hold on exclusively to the idea of who they were and what you were dealing with before. Be mindful of that. Be cognizant of that. Be careful not to kind of fall back into those old patterns and habits with this person. But at the same time, this is encouragement to be open to the evolution that has taken place within them. And this won't be the case with everyone, but it feels for a lot of people with this individual sort of re-emerging, resurfacing from the past. They have gone through some sort of a profound revelation within themselves. They have come to this place of clarity. They may not have all the answers, but they're willing to try. They want to work on this. They want to try to build in a different direction. And so separation really, being an illusion. You two have been working with one another energetically during this time apart. The personal growth that you have each done in your separate directions is now really opening up the energy for something new to be experienced and to be created, to cut through the illusions of what has happened in the past between the two of you, and work towards something that is more meaningful, more relevant to who you are at this point in time, and through the clarity of kind of, again, who you are and what you want going forward. It's possible to move into something that can realistically be sustained and attained between the two of you, and for kind of the higher good of the both of you. So again, any kind of fears that are surfacing, even if you're a little bit nervous at the idea of somebody from the past returning, again, fears, it's an illusion. Kind of using this time to sort of pick that apart, honoring that place of self-love within you that has raised your standards. You don't want to be hurt again. This is a very noble sentiment to have. That is a beautiful example of self-love in action. But at the same time, the love that you have cultivated for yourself is not meant to just be kept inside. It's love which it is a strong enough foundation within you to be able to shine that out in some way. This doesn't mean just kind of letting somebody back in to repeat the same habits, to kind of break your heart all over again. But there is a lot of energy of change here. The change that has happened within you can be that kind of foundation upon which this situation with this person has the potential to change. You've raised the bar within yourself. Now's the opportunity for them to kind of step out of that fear-based programming and really mirror that back to you. Match that effort, match that consistency, so that you can both kind of experience something different, something more based in the reality of who you are at this point in time and who you are becoming, rather the illusion of who you were in the past. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got Z, J, N, E, D, L, K, and X. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Apatite along with this card, which I will take a look at in a few minutes. This will be some guidance from Spirit about the situation. So I'm going to start with some tarot to get a feel about what are this person's next actions towards you. Will they make a move? When? What's that going to look like? We've got the Four of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Justice, which is Libra. Ten of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Eight of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Three of Cups, so more water energy. And Six of Swords, so more air energy. So to start with, the Ten of Pentacles came up in group 2. So if you were drawn to that group, you might want to watch it after this group. There could be additional messages for you there. It looks like this person has been fighting a lot of fear, a sense of being trapped within their own mind, feeling very much at a distance from you, a lot of thought that has been given to sort of what has occurred between you in the past, if this is someone you were dealing with previously. And something where they feel very blocked or obstructed with the Eight of Swords and the Four of Cups, kind of from taking action, making movement forward. This could be somebody where you have blocked them, and so communication is not so easy. It is not so possible. This feels to be almost these internal blockages within self, somebody who almost has so much anxiety that they are kind of frozen in place. There's a fear of falling, a fear of opening up their heart to you with the Three of Cups, and a fear of sort of the depths, what that will unleash. This may have been a fear that had kept them at a distance from you before. They see you as wish fulfillment with the Ten of Pentacles. There is a desire to explore this further with the Six of Swords, but again, a lot of fear that's keeping them at bay. This can really talk as well with the Justice and the Eight of Swords about some kind of karmic relationship they are in, a marriage or a partnership, that they feel very trapped, very limited to take action, or that the options available to them are limited at this point in time. In some way, they are equating kind of action towards you with loss, and so it feels to be something that they are at a standstill about. They feel almost very kind of very on edge in this situation. There's a need almost for secrecy in some capacity. There's a need for them to think. There's a need for pause. If you have already been in a situation of pause, this can speak about further pause, that they are giving this a lot of thought. They almost have their eyes closed to what needs to be done, what should be done. It's something where, this could be a series of circumstances within their life that are just kind of going round and round. It's something that, there's not a lot of excitement to that. It's something which could just be very comfortable, very routine, something that they feel that it's very difficult to extract themselves from, a life that they have built with somebody. This can even be kind of if they are not, in a relationship with anybody else, this can even just be kind of a view that they have had, or that has been kind of put upon them of who they should be, expectations, a sense of duty and obligation, even duty and obligation to a vow that they made to themselves, a commitment they made to themselves to not open their heart to you for whatever reason. It feels to have something to do with the intensity and nature of these feelings. This can definitely be a counterpart situation with the idea of justice, and that they are very overwhelmed by all of this in some way. They have equated opening up to you or exploring these feelings further with losing themselves. There is very much a fear of that, losing themselves to this. Very uncertain, very fearful of the unknown and kind of what could come out of this circumstance. So in terms of actions towards you, it feels like a lot of internal energy. The actions may be just in the form of telepathy. And if you've been dealing with a lot of telepathy up to this point in time, you can be thinking to yourself, great, okay, more of the same. And so, this isn't like, this reading isn't intended to stretch out into the infinite future, but for kind of the foreseeable future. At this current stage that they're at, this person feels very almost stuck in place, that they need more time to kind of weigh this out. There may be other circumstances literally standing in the way of them taking action forward. There is a desire for this. There is a yearning for this. There is a sense of belonging that they feel with you, a sense that what they could experience with you in some way would be very different than what they've known up to this point, or what they are kind of entangled with currently. And there's a draw towards that, but at the same time, again, this degree of caution, that may even just be caution within themselves in terms of reminders that they have had, fears that they have of getting kind of entangled in the same sort of situation they've dealt with in the past. So if this is somebody who is not currently in another connection, this can be something where kind of the ghosts of the past are really sort of operating as kind of wedges or obstacles to this person taking more action towards you, making steps in your direction. This could be somebody who is divorced, and there's a fear of commitment now at this point in time, a fear of opening themselves up to exploring and growing with you, only to kind of end up in this energy of loss or being kind of trapped in that same sort of situation, that same circumstance that fell apart before, not wanting to repeat those same patterns, and so keeping themselves very closed off, very shut off to this. A lot that's happening beneath the surface though with them. A lot of this fear and anxiety, both of taking a leap of faith forward, taking a chance, and also a fear of what would be lost or squandered should they remain in place. So in terms of actions, it feels like a lot of this is kind of internal. It's this internal battle, as much as they are kind of in this outward 3D stance of resistance with the Six of Swords and this idea of kind of progress being made anyway. It feels very much that there's divine intervention that is kind of happening here. Not a lot may be apparent from the surface. It may be very closed off. Communication may be kind of at a minimum or non-existent between the two of you, just kind of shut down. But there's a lot that is happening in that internal landscape. Some fears that are needing to be confronted. These webs of entanglement, either literally in a 3D sense or internally within this person's own psyche, that are needing to be kind of unbound before they feel confident, liberated, or able to make a move towards you in the 3D sense. But there is evolution that is happening. They feel that they're almost kind of dancing around among all of these fears, feeling very trapped in place. And kind of, these not really recognizing as well with these cards, with all these people with their eyes shut, they're not really recognizing that the key to their own liberation in this circumstance is in their hands. Nevertheless, from the higher self level, their spirit guides, their ancestors, their angels, the divine is very much intervening, very much leading them through this place of kind of troubled waters into more of a calm within themselves, into an inner peace, which is necessary for them to be able to come forward to you in an energy that is very productive. So as disappointing as that can sound, that it doesn't seem to be action in a material sense that will be kind of coming in the near future or in the imminent future, sort of, the foreseeable future. Again, I'm not looking at like the infinite forever future, but you could just kind of like on the horizon as things stand right now in these current energies. They feel very much bound and sort of trapped in this cycle, trapped within their own head, trapped internally in a fortress within them. But beneath the scenes, under that kind of frozen energy, almost this frozen in place energy, there is movement happening. It's bringing forth this image almost of a river in the middle of winter time, where the top of that river, it's all kind of frozen solid, or even like a lake in the middle of winter, and it's just a sheet of ice on top. But beneath that, there's still movement, there's still activity. There are things that are flowing and that are shifting and that are changing within. So it feels that a lot is really kind of happening in this person's internal landscape. They almost feel to kind of very quietly and for some reason very secretively planning their escape, planning their next move forward, really kind of looking at their circumstances, weighing those options, and it feels like a very necessary period of strategy. It almost feels that they may be holding themselves back from you as well at this time, not wanting to bring you into this tangle, into these complications that they have going on. A need for discernment, a need to remain quiet about this, a need to kind of wrap some things up so that when they are able, if they are able, if they come to that place of readiness to take some sort of action towards you, it is not bringing all of this baggage in tow. This feels to be somebody that has a lot of respect for you, again, kind of sensing this element of wish fulfillment, this balance, this counterpart energy, that they're knowing that they need to come correct, or they're feeling that you're deserving of more than what they have to offer at this point in time. There's a lot of other entanglements and loose ends internally and externally that have to be wrapped up in order to kind of create that space, that environment that is conducive to what can and wants to grow between the two of you in the future. So I'm going to get a couple of oracle cards to get a little clarity about this. Okay, we have air spirit, knowledge, and flexible. So interestingly enough, this image here of this woman in the boat in the air spirit is very similar to the Six of Swords and the woman in the boat kind of being guided. This person is being guided by spirit, or is, again, kind of making these plans very quietly, internally, plans even in terms of a change in the way that they are thinking. As far as their circumstances, what has happened between the two of you, their feelings as they understand them up to this point in time, there is evolution that is taking place, but it's in the mental space. There's a need to, very kind of delicately maneuver around this, maneuver around these fears, maneuver around whatever these barriers or obstacles are within their life, again, internally within themselves. There is change that is happening, but it's this idea of, with flexible, it's kind of bringing to mind somebody who's, you're kind of bending into this, somebody who, you're doing yoga, for example. And when you first start, it can be a very kind of a rigid posture. It takes time, it takes practice to kind of lean into that space of flexibility. It doesn't just happen overnight. This feels like somebody who's kind of leaning out of their comfort zone more and more, very gradually making space within themselves to at least entertain the possibility of a different kind of circumstance in this situation with you. A very rigid stance that they may be taking as far as certain ideas that they have had about what their life is like, what they have to offer, the kind of partner they are looking for, ways in which you are very much outside of that box. They're needing to kind of open their mind. But the idea, again, of air, spirit, and flexible, that mind is opening. A lot happening in that kind of internal space, which is creating kind of the space that is necessary for action to happen. Plans that are being made, thoughts that are kind of ruminating, facing those fears, being very kind of, scared stiff by those fears, by this idea of taking that leap of faith, understanding that they could, really fall. They could lose a lot within themselves, within their life, within their, in their pride, within their ego, if things didn't work out between the two of you. But then they're also leaning into the direction of everything that could go right in this situation, and it's bending them in your direction. Their will, their resistance is almost slowly being bent into a place of flexibility where they can see a way forward. Plans and preparations that are made in order to extract themselves from something, to create more space, to create more openness within themselves or within their life, that invites in this energy between the two of you, either for reconciliation, or if this is somebody kind of new that you've been dealing with, somebody that's a friend, somebody, maybe that's a coworker, for example, or just somebody who's kind of in your awareness, but you each may be in different circumstances. One of you might be. This can, again, be kind of these fears, these ghosts of the past, a fear of being hurt and love again, somebody who's kind of put walls and barriers, a fortress around their heart, opening up to that idea of love, of giving love another chance or exploring this relationship further. It feels very frightening. It feels something they're very much resistant about and will continue to be resistant to a certain extent in kind of the foreseeable future. But there's change happening internally where they're leaning into this place of what if, what needs to be done to make space for this, what needs to be done to explore this further, what is standing in the way of me kind of opening up to the possibilities of what can exist here, what can be created once more between us, if this is someone from the past, or kind of what new territories and experiences and kind of this richness can be grown between the two of us by stepping out of kind of the bounds or constraints of however that dynamic exists between you currently, in the direction of exploring these feelings further. So I'm going to get some words from their higher self and see, what does this person want you to know right now? Okay, and they say, my heart is telling me just do it. So again, kind of that fear being frozen in place, that feels to be mental energy, ego energy. Logically, it doesn't make sense why they want to reach towards you. Logically, they're looking at all the obstacles, everything that could possibly go wrong, and yet their heart is that kind of force that is fighting against that logical mind, that energy of justice and kind of this balance. The head and the heart are waging battle right now. And the heart is very compelling. The heart just is relentless and keeps pushing this person. They're holding on as tightly as they can to that resistance and that fear and, trying to shut down their feelings, trying to shut off the possibilities, lean too much into the excuses, into all kind of the perceptions of obstacles and the possible pitfalls that they are anticipating in this situation, or that they're creating in this situation. If these are not kind of like realistic possibilities, it's just almost this fear of failure. But their heart is just very persistent in that, encouraging them to keep leaning, to keep, strategizing, untangling themselves from these internal or external knots at a very consistent pace. They also say, I've looked you up online to see what you've been up to. So if this is somebody from your past, somebody you were dealing with before, and it's just been silence, no contact, they've moved in another direction, returned to another situation, or just are really, it feels like putting on this exterior that everything is fine, that they're very happy where they are, life is good, they aren't thinking about you. This is very much a mask and a deception. Again, that idea of kind of the frozen river or the lake where not a lot is happening on the surface, yet beneath that there's so much activity, there's so much brewing and boiling within their heart space. Very secretive energy here, almost again kind of looking you up online, watching you from afar, watching your social media, but in a way that they're very almost kind of, it feels like a guilty pleasure. It's something that they feel is very off limits, like a forbidden fruit in some way, that you are out of touch to them, or the choices that they have made this, the possibility of what can develop between you, very remote. So it's an observer energy, taking things into account, really strategizing at this point. And this desire and this longing that they have for you, again, is creating that flexibility, that urge to kind of want to change these circumstances, but feeling somewhat powerless at this point to really do much more than just watch from afar. They also say, I feel badly for the way I treated you. You didn't deserve that. So if they had ghosted you, cut off communication, left you with more questions than answers, this is a lot of regret. This is a lot of that fear also that they are kind of trapped in, having to confront these things, taking that first step towards you. It feels like a very daunting task. There's a fear of rejection, a fear of failure, a fear of kind of seeing the pain in your eyes, a lot of sorrow for having led you on, having misrepresented their feelings, or made you even feel very secondary or like an option. It feels like a sense of duty and obligation, either again to sort of a mindset or another kind of dynamic that they had going on. It pulled them away from the direction where their heart was telling them to go. And they're very much kind of embroiled in this sense of, sort of, what have I done? How do I undo this? How do I extract myself from this situation? It's the idea of kind of these endless knots, this Gordian knot that as much as they try to cut away, there just seems to be more and more. It's a very difficult and arduous task as they see it at this point. There's a lot of kind of complications that can tie into as well. Part of this strategy is looking to see, are you available? What do you have going on? What are kind of the obstacles and barriers on your end that would stand between actualizing this, coming back together, giving this another chance, or even acting upon these feelings and this urges for the first time? So again, more of this energy of just something very internal, not a lot of action in the material sense at this point or in kind of the foreseeable future, but this kind of internal openness that is needing to happen, which will allow them to kind of lead with the heart going forward. So I'm going to take a look now at this card, the guidance from Spirit about this situation. And we have Night. So this can again really reinforce kind of a dark night of the soul energy that this person is in, kind of an existential crisis, looking around them, being very kind of dissatisfied by the choices that they have made, by the life they have built for themselves, but feeling very overwhelmed, very trapped, very unable to do much about that. They may also be in a process of a lot that is being dismantled, a lot that is kind of falling apart for them, that is changing within them. It's bringing forth this idea of like a cocoon energy, this primordial womb of creation, where a lot of destruction needs to take place in order for something new to be birthed. So this can really account for kind of the silence, sort of the continued inaction in this situation, because it's a necessary phase of other transformations that need to happen, other things that need to fall away in order for this person to be energetically free enough to come towards you in an energy that you deserve, that can be reciprocal, that can be open to possibilities. Again, this idea of Night is that primordial womb that encourages you to not look at these current circumstances as the end-all be-all. For the foreseeable future, this is the stance this person is taking. Very fear-based, very kind of low vibrational and limited, not seeing a lot of options. But inside, quietly, privately, they are looking around. They are trying to find that way out. They're feeling for that kind of opening, that aperture. They're trying to find a key to their own liberation, but it will take time. So in the interim, kind of use this time wisely. Feel into what's being triggered within you, feelings of rejection, feelings of abandonment and loss and disappointment, utilizing this time to heal these things, to release these things, to search within you and see what are things that you are settling for, what are ways in which you feel trapped, or you feel powerless, or you feel very complacent to just kind of operate in the status quo and in direct contrast to what your heart is telling you. Liberating yourself from these things, stepping into your full authenticity, shining your light very brightly, and kind of cleaning house in your life in a myriad of ways, internally and externally, in terms of what you have around you. That can really help to encourage and pivot this person on that similar process within themselves. Again, we had kind of that counterpart energy, a lot of mirroring that may be going on, or just a very internal kind of journey that independently needs to happen. Again, that kind of frozen lake or river surface where a lot is happening beneath the surface, that the appearances that you are seeing, this quiet, this kind of this dead energy between the two of you, this night, that will give way to kind of clarity and illumination and the dawning of a new day. But it takes place internally within oneself first and foremost. It brings to mind this idea of kind of becoming the yin to your own yang, becoming that energy you are seeking, becoming that change in the world you seek to experience, becoming the love in which you are seeking. And in that way, you can call forth towards you in a form and fashion, time and manner that is best suited to everybody's highest good, kind of that comparable vibration in another. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got M, K, D, B, V, I, F, and A. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.